Good Sunday afternoon. How's everybody? It is a beautiful day upstate New York, about 65 degrees, bright sunshine. The chitlins are all at the park enjoying themselves, all the grandchildren and so a few of the mothers, and God knows who else from the neighborhood. But I have the house to myself. Cooper and I are running free. We are unsupervised, which could be a very dangerous thing. Think about it. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, yell at me. I really, really, really like that comment, Jason. Oh my God, that was so good. I ain't even going to repeat it. It was so good. Maybe that's another video because some of your comments are really good, but this one from Jason knocked it out of the park. Anyway, let's help our friends out here a little bit. Like, subscribe, you know, comment. If you got a few quarters in your pocket, stick it in an envelope and send it to them. If you got a fiver, instead of leaving $5 tip, I mean a $10 tip for your waitress, leave her a fiver and send a fiver off to Aortic Hope. Good people doing great things. I like each and every one of them there. But I got to do a shout out to Chef Rob. I talked to him this morning about something I wanted to do. And as always, Mindy and Chef came up with the greatest idea. And I haven't even told Josh yet. So he's looking at me like my head fell off. Josh, don't give me the damn finger. It's already started. We just started. Why am I getting a finger from you? Anyway, so the Wizard of Oz is with us. Josh. Joshua, speak up. Tell the people you like them, even if it's a lie.
I'm good at lying. Nobody can tell if I'm telling the truth or not. Hello, everyone.
Anyway, Josh, the producer, is here. He's magically brought us to you in 3D. Oh, you don't have 3D? You should get it. All right. So, St. Jude. Can't leave out St. Jude. God bless St. Jude. You know how many kids I've watched over the last, 63 years or whatever, since Danny Thomas put it together? You know how many kids I've seen still alive? Because St. Jude took it from 80% death rate down to 20%. Do you understand what good these people do? I hope so. I hope you send them some change. If you don't, you can borrow it from me. I'll send it off for you. Just tell me how much you want to send, and I'll bill you later. I also want to give a shout out to two other organizations. Josh is going to put both organizations up because I never can remember their names, but both of them, the Heart one and Peripheral, whatever, which I
For
don't know.
Global PAD Association or thewaytomyheart.org. Great work over there by Kim McNicholas, Emmy Award winning journalist. And
Okay,
Rock from the Heart, an
okay,
aortic education and rock concert in a 2 day event. I think they do it 2 or 3 times a year to raise money and raise awareness for aortic valve disease.
yeah, I can't go to February, but I can definitely go to May because it's wide open and I X'd it out. Let me get back to the subject, guys. Let's not fail here because it is Sunday and the chitlins will be home and hungry. So we don't want any interruptions. So let's get this done. All right. You, my friends, I'm going to mystify you. I'm going to take back the veil and let you understand about money. Money, 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 money. All right. Let's follow the money. Now you're going to say, well, he's going to talk about taxes. Bullshit. I'll talk about that later. I'm talking about your money. As now you're 65 or older, retired, you got a new life. Remember, you retired from the old life, right? So you're going to start your new life. Your money is your money. Now, what I did, and I don't suggest this to anybody, but when I was 65, I kind of took all the money and property and everything and I put it into one account. Then I had the lawyers and the accountants and scam artists. Found a lot of scam artists. As soon as they figure you're opening a trust, they all send you emails. I don't even know how they find this shit out. Isn't that amazing? I think there's somebody in the cork store Just when you file the original paperwork, they send it out so these idiots can get in touch with you. You know, $99 will get you a full and complete trust. Yeah, wrong. Cost me about $8,000. Yeah, when it was all done, about $8,000. But it's a good trust, you know. It's for my family. You know, they won't have to go through the taxation and transfer and all that because I'm 73 now, and I did it at 75. So I know where my money is in the trust, and there's ways they can get to it. You know, illness, education, that kind of stuff. No criminal stuff. I made that real clear. If you're a criminal, you don't touch the money. Now, not ever. Incentive not to be criminals, right? Right. See, look at all you shaking your head. I love it. I love it when you agree with me, because most of you have been writing that you don't agree with. But that's okay. Got a thick skin. I was a chef. Right. So let's talk about your money. Now you got to figure out a budget for yourself. And I mean a budget. I mean, you can write it down. You can make envelopes up. So much for gas, so much for food, so much for fishing, so much for drinking. I don't care how you do it. Write it down in Google budgets. I don't care. But stick to it. I live on $1,941. Now, because the government is so good to me, in January, he's going to raise it, what I'm say 2.5%, which doesn't cover anything. And what I want to know is I put into the system all my life and they don't pay me even minimum wage. I don't expect them to pay me the wage that I made as a chef. I'm realistic, but at least pay me minimum wage. You get it? Because if you divide $1,941 and figure out what the hourly wage for that whole month is, you'll see that I'm below the minimum wage. Now, in my golden retirement, I shouldn't be making less than the guy that's selling me hamburgers out the window. I don't think. But then I don't know what your opinion is. Maybe I'm asking too much because I did put a lot of money into the Social Security system not to be able to get it out. But that's another story. And we'll go down that road on another time. We'll do a whole thing on Social Security and how to maximize your Social Security, how to appeal things. I had to appeal my Social Security like 4 times before I got the money that I deserve every month. It started out at like $800. What was that about? You know, I made more. I paid him more than that. We got, but now I get $1,941 plus a 2.5% raise from the Biden administration. So I'm in the money. I'm in the money. You get it? Pennies from heaven. So I break my money up. It's really cute. I get direct deposit and then I go get all my money out and put it in envelopes. I'm such a freak. And then I put the envelope on my corkboard with the little push pins. So I got an envelope for gas. I got an envelope for entertaining. I got an envelope for the Rugrats. Uh, fishing envelope, shooting. You know, because I go to the range quite often. Practice. I got an envelope, but you know what I'm saying. It's the old envelope system. They started it back before, uh, you know, our the Depression. I mean, they used it back in the 20s. You know, right after World War One. You know, 1918. Somebody thought it up. I think that's how far it goes back. Anyway, listen to me. Use the envelope system. You're old. You don't want to be messing with money all week long or a month long. So get it all out. Put it in the envelope. Pay your bills, and then get it whatever's left out and put it in your envelope. No, wrong. Put it in your envelopes first. Whatever's left, pay your bills. I have 2 credit cards. One I travel with, and one is like shits and giggles. I just keep it on me in case somebody doesn't take cash. Okay. So hey, Coop, why are you crying? Cooper. He's all excited because he hears vehicles downstairs. So the children are back. So he wants to go play. Sucks to him. He has to wait until we're done. because I'm not gonna let them downstairs because it'll just run everybody over and there'll be a lot of crying and gnashing of teeth and spouses screaming and guys turning up the volume on the video games in the basement. Which, by the way, I insulated the basement to the point where I can't hear anything coming from it. And I put a soundproof door on it. Not only at the bottom where they have to go in, but at the staircase. I don't. I have it right now that murders could be done down there and nobody would know it. I mean, cruise and street. That's another story. All right, so let's get back to money. So there's your money. You got your money. Yeah, you start your new life. You need a new budget system. Envelope's the best way to go. Pay your bills, take the money out, put it in the envelope, and the corkboard. You'd be surprised by the end of the month how much money's left in your envelopes. Mmm, good system. Now, let's talk about your wife. You have a lot of situations, or your spouse. Maybe you're married to John or Mary, and you're Mary. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you do in the house, in the bedroom. I don't care what you call yourself. You want to be a fur baby, do it. I'm just giving you suggestions on how to live, how to spend your money. I always want to be an opera singer. Trouble is, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. But Sister Mary Teresa said I should sing in the solo choir. And I was like, sing myself up on stage by myself. She said, no, no, no. Sing in the solo choir, solo that only God can hear you. I kicked her in the shins. I think I spent 3 days in the principal's office for that. That was rude. I'm off topic. That's another story. Somebody should be writing this shit down. These are pearls. Okay. So your wife's got her money, right? Like my wife still works. So she got a lot of money, honey. She's been in the same place forever. So she's at the top of the pay scale. She got all these days off. She works, you know, for government. She's been in her job so long that she's like, they look up stuff, just got her picture and her email address, and they say email for the answer. Okay. But you no longer have to get involved with her money. You see, your new life says you're still married, you still love her, or maybe she's on a week-to-week contract. However, she takes care of her money. She can come to you for advice, but then you just send them back a YouTube video. So then it's not your suggestion and you don't get in trouble. See how that works? They ask you a question, you look it up on YouTube, you send it to them. You're off the hook. That's her money. That's simple. And I know it's simple, but do it. The kids' money. My kids are like 56 to 30 something. They're all well established. I got two that didn't launch, but they still got more money than I ever had. I mean, one's a bartender. He goes anywhere in the world, makes money. He's like constantly on vacation. He's 6 years old. You know how some kids are in school forever, constantly on vacation. He does this demonstrating thing, and he's got a long list of things he tells good-looking women that obviously work. He's been married once, but that was a mistake. And now he's with somebody, but he's not with somebody. I don't know really how that works. Somebody's got to explain that to me, or we've got to do a story on that. So what are we coming up on time? How many minutes did I fill? Because I need to get this all in.
We're at the 15-minute mark.
Great, great. 15 minutes. Commercial break, commercial break, commercial break. Josh's going to put up 4 people we need you to support. 4 organizations. 4 people, people who need people. I'm in a singing mood today. So you're going to flash those 4 up real quick. Because did I tell you? Oh, I forgot. We found somebody. We searched the ends of the earth and we found a young lady. And within the next 2 weeks, we're going to set it up. I got to send her a check. And we're gonna have professional intros and professional commercials and a professional exit. Because Tom screws us up too much and it pulls me off the track. But commercial break, like, comment, subscribe. Stop sending me envelopes with your green and blue boogers. I'm not giving you a bicycle. I know we said that if you dig deep enough and get a blue one, you'll get a bicycle. Uncle Scott reneged on that. He said if you dig deep enough, you would get a blue one and then you'd get a free bicycle. I think he was lying to us. Uncle Scott, we need to talk. And you know who I'm talking about, Scotty. I know where you live up there in New Hampshire. So contact me. Let me know where my bike is. I have a half a dozen blue boogies there. Okay, let's get back to the subject of money, money, money. Okay, so we took care of your wife, right? Kids got their own money. You don't have to worry about that. Grandchitlins. Here's the deal with the grandchitlins. You can't just hand them money because if you hand them money, they come back often. So make them work for money. Say they need $10 or $20, whatever, right? Always have a list of jobs you need to do. You know, on your cork board or your whiteboard or with a crayon on a wall, list all the little jobs that you have to do, right? And what they're worth to you. And as the chitlins come up and say, Grandpa, no, we need money. Sucks to be you. I made my money. Go out and make your money. They go, give me that sad-eyed look. Doesn't work on it. So I say to them, all right, I need, see that big pile of firewood? You four go out there and stack it. Grandma will show you how she wants it stacked and where she wants it stacked. When the whole thing is stacked, you four come back and I'll pay you. Now, see, I've been doing this with my grandchildren for a long time, so they negotiate price right away. But for you newcomers to this and take advantage of this, they won't know enough to negotiate prior. So it's your advantage. So when they show up back, you don't have to give them each $20. You can give them each $10 and they'll be just as happy. However, one of your son's daughter, spouses, some rude son of a bitch in Kmart, not Kmart, Walmart, will tell the kid that it's worth more. And then from that day on, you got to pay the going rate, which is, for 4 kids working on a full quarter wood is $25. So you better have $100 in your. But see what I'm saying to you? It's a racket. I love rackets. Being this grandfather shit is cool. So you get all these little jobs like you need all these boxes moved, or let's say, the car needs to be washed. That's the best one. Now, they already know that it's like $18, $24 to run your car through Hopkins. So that's the going rate. You can't get away with that. You ask them to wash a car, it's going to cost you 20. If 2 of them, they get to split to 25. Fall for that 25 each shit. Mowing lawns. Now, average around here for the size lot I have is almost an acre. It's like $60. I don't know. We mow our own lawn. Well, when I say we, I used to, but not anymore because I have a tendency to fall off the tractor because I don't have a special seat yet. But I'm gonna get one because I want to get back on the tractor. As this cart that you pull behind it, Uber likes getting in the car and it's just right around. That's another story. So, gotta have a price for everything, right? You can't negotiate with these little virus, bacterial driven, urchins. You have to have, and you have to stand. You have to be secure in what you're giving them and know it and believe it and not waver. Like my wife, who they can negotiate up. Boy. because she loves him. Love has nothing to do with this. This is an exchange of money for services. You get it? Stop talking about them like you love them. Stop entertaining the fact that somewhere along, because you got laid and they had a baby, then these people were created, and then the second generation doesn't matter. Just because they came from your loins does not mean you have to give them a break. So charge them and get work done. See how this works? My God, retirement is so cool. All right. So we got the grandkids stuff. Now, because you're dealing with older people, you have to come up with a set of rules about money. Like when you're playing poker, it's table stakes. The money's on the table, you can bet it. Doesn't come out of your pocket unless everybody on the table agrees. Can't bet your watch. Can't bet your rent or mortgage payment. You have to be practical. And if you're not, and your wife calls me up and says, you gambled the mortgage payment away, we just ban you, because I don't want some crazy wife with a shotgun showing up at my house because you are not regulated enough in your budget. Alcohol. Now that we're retired, if you want to drink something at a friend's house, bottle. Now you can always bring a bottle for the owner of the home. Guess being grateful enough or gracious enough to let you use his poker table. You have to capitalize. Retirement is like another business or another job. You can't sleep on it. You have to be constantly thinking of ways to make money. Like I used to put metal out to the curb, right? And let just anybody pick it up because I didn't want to deal with it. But now I'm that guy. See, I got this 2005 Ford Ranger, flatbed, because the body rusted off it. So I had to put a new front on it and put a flatbed on. So now I'm that guy that goes around. It's the metal on the back of the truck, takes it over, has them weigh it, give me money. Now I said that wrong. Actually, put one of the chitlins in the truck, make them get out, put it on the back of it, give them percentage. If they complain, they get a less percentage. If they're happy and jolly and, you know, get a bigger percentage and maybe even lunch. However, once again, this is the business of retirement and we're following the money today. Now, tax money. Hi, Coop. Cooper showed up. Hi, Coop. Anyway, Cooper says taxes are out of control. And isn't that wonderful that the taxes are to the point where we're printing more money than we actually take in taxes? Now, let me explain that. All the tax money comes in, Biden's printing twice. The dollar used to be worth 73 cents. I saw something this morning on Money Matters that the dollar's worth 67 cents. That dollar that I had in 1950 or 60 is now worth somewhere around 63 cents or 62 cents. Yeah, 73 down to 60. Anyway, understand that your dollar's not going to go so far. So in your retirement, you have to act like an old person every once in a while to get over on people. That doddering old fool that doesn't understand the internet and, can't read because he can't see and because people just want to, figure you're old and stupid. So play that end. Tax wise, you go in, you try to pay the lowest taxes on anything, negotiate everything. Now, I bought a Kubota. You know what a Kubota tractor is? It's a piece of machinery. It's orangey yellow and it's beautiful. Kubota. I don't know if Josh can put a picture up of a Kubota backhoe or tractor or anything. I foolishly went out and bought a brand new Kubota hat. Now, I was not wise in my retirement money. I spent $12,000 for a tractor and 8,000 more for accoutrements, a blade, a thumb, backhoe, better tires, two batteries. Just to, make it a better tractor for getting around the property. So I paid what 12,000, 8,000. That's 20,000 for, and they gave me a brand new hat, Kubota hat. Here's my trouble. My wife thinks that I went to Kubota to look at equipment and came home with a brand new hat. When actually by Tuesday we're going to have $20,000 worth of Kubota equipment that I did buy on my credit card, by the way. And now I'm talking to Sal, the accountant, to transfer that debt to the business. Although I am no longer on any of the boards of the business, so I really have no I have no way to do that because I'm, it's on an umbrella, which is okay. I'm retired. I can take. They can have all the problems of running businesses. I don't need it. But any of you accountants out there, any of you guys that are really smart about this stuff, comment to me and tell me how to shift this money around before Tuesday, or I might show up with a black eye and a broken arm. Okay, so that we're talking about tax money. I did get tax money. I got like $3,800 towards the purchase. So really, it's like 23,800, something like that I spent. But that's another story. And whatever happens from the outcome of it is a really big story because I spend some more time in the hospital, which I don't need because I spend enough time. See, I got off the subject, but that's another story. So the tax money, as people, they're constantly telling us we're not paying enough in taxes. First they said the rich weren't paying, now everybody doesn't pay taxes. They have all these projects. I mean, the Dems been in there, 3.5 years? So you see what happened. Inflation. Oh, inflation's not happening. How come a dozen eggs costs $8? How come a pound of bacon costs $9? How come butter costs $5 a pound and Hellman's and mayonnaise is $4.99? I don't get it. Maybe in your neighborhood the prices aren't going up, but the prices going up in my neighborhood. And I don't even grocery shop. I'm that guy that calls up Aldi's or Wegmans and just puts his order in. This buddy of mine who does it for DoorDash brings it over and puts it into the kitchen because I'm old and my legs don't work. So I now use that service. But the truth of it is that the girls do most of the shopping. But I do some because I like certain things that they won't buy from me. Sneak them in while they're at work. See how this
Like
works?
$20,000 in farming equipment.
$23,800. Anyway, I'm still here on Wednesday. Everything's good. Have a little faith. Why in God's name would you be? Do you understand karma? Do you understand? Don't jinx me. So far, I've lived since Friday knowing this. And I'm going to live till Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're going to see what happens. So tune in on Wednesday. So, got all this tax money going in, right? And government services, they have all their regulations and their bureaucracy to hand this money out. Then each and every individual in every agency of the federal government gets so much money. Now, I remember, this is going back a ways, in the 60s, no, 70s, that the whole budget for the whole government was less than $1 trillion. Now we got a $15 trillion debt going and spend $7 trillion a year, and we print $20 trillion in bills. I don't get it anymore because I did really bad in math. I had this none in the formative years of my education, the first 3 years of my education, who thought the way to make me understand math was to hit me with a ruler hard on the hand. And she was good. She was a stealth nun. She could sneak up on you, whack you, and be gone, and you wouldn't even know it. Anyway, all of a sudden, pain in the back of your head or your hand. She loved hitting you on the elbow, making that funny bone thing. But that's another story. So, get back to the math of taxes. So we have all these agencies, right? And they're all run by bureaucracies. Yeah, they're appointed directors and chairman and all that shit from, Pentagon and CIA and FBI and FEMA and Homeland Security. Jeez, it used to be 16 agencies in the government when Eisenhower was in. Now we got hundreds. And each one of them gets funded by the taxpayer. It's when the federal government came in the 80s and said, we're going to take over everything. We're going to have career politicians that are going to know what they're doing. And you don't have to worry because we got your back. But what they meant by that was they're taking the money out of your pocket in the back so quick you didn't have time to spend it. And understand what I'm talking about taxes. You get your money, you got taxes saved. You go and buy gas, you pay 24% in taxes. You go to the grocery store, you pay another 5-10%. You pay for your kids' college education. Tax. And then they retax you under FAFSA for somebody else to get along. So you're being taxed all over the place. Even if you go to the NFL, let me tell you about the NFL. The NFL, guys, you're listening? The NFL is a 501c. That means they're a charity. They don't pay any taxes. You know, all these guys running around making these $1 million salaries to get head injuries? Yeah, they're 501cs. They're under 501c. They get paid through a 501c. So you're going to build a stadium at $1.5 billion for a team that comes in making millions of dollars for each game, selling $12 beers and $15 hot dogs, charging you $15, $20 to park, making money hand over fist, but they don't pay any tax. So if all this money is going into the NFL per game and Super Bowl and all those other things, $4 or $5 or $6 million to put on a 30-second ad.
We have a fact check, actually.
Go ahead.
So, according to this, the National Football League was previously a 501c6 organization, which is a tax exempt status for trade associations and professional leagues. The NFL voluntarily gave up its tax exempt status in 2015 and began classifying as a taxable entity.
And they just appealed. You can look it up. The date of the appeal is August 9th, I think, to get go from an E to a C, which they will pay a certain amount of taxes, but certain things won't be taxed. They can still receive $1.5 billion stadium, which taxpayer builds, they occupy, that they don't pay anything for, and everything they make within the confines of the stadium, they get a cut of, and the local municipality gets a cut of the parking only. And I think the cut's not real, we're talking 20, 30%. You can fact check that all you want. It's under appeal right now. How much did the NFL pay in taxes between 2015 and 2024 there, Josh, the fact checker? It's going to say they don't know, or they can't accommodate us.
What it says is in 2014, the NFL claimed that its tax bill would have been zero. The NFL's tax exempt status was controversial, and some are calling for it to be revoked.
I said between when they finally relinquished it, because the government not because of the people, because the government was opening an investigation. How much taxes did they pay from 2019 or 15, or I don't care what they, to 2024? See how
Well,
that works?
what I'm looking at here is NFL tax 2016, and because I was just looking at for by year. So in 2016, the NFL distributed 7.8 billion to its 32 teams. Right.
Okay, that's how much
Hold on.
of the cut they got.
The teams were located in 22 states. 19 different. 7 teams were in states with no personal income. Highest personal income tax is 14. So they're deferring their tax burden to personal income.
Okay, can we say that
Hmm.
one more time?
They're deferring
They are
their,
deferring any profits
yeah,
to personal income, which is taxed at a lower rate. You
yeah,
understand
oh
how that
yeah,
works?
oh yeah.
Okay. So just so we're just gonna say that your $12 beer and your $15 hot dog, they're making probably 10 or $12, and the rest of it goes into personal income. A tax at a much lower rate, like 20 or 22%, something like that. Not the 59% as a for-profit entity who's making money. See how slick these guys are? I'm just trying to explain to you, get through the minutia of regulations and how people account for their money. Now the government does the same thing. Now the government gives every three-letter agency, whatever, money. However, they keep a certain amount of money back in the GSA, for government services. So if FEMA runs short, or the military needs a new missile, or goes outside their budget, which when you come to the military, they always have an overrun clause. So if they say this new missile system is going to cost $6 billion to make, they may have an additional $2 billion squirreled away in the back of the contract for overage. Why? Because we use the lowest bidder who gets the job, and then he fleshes it out. By fleshing it out means he charges. He's got all these contingencies. Well, this bolt didn't, because of the delay, doesn't cost $5. It costs $10 now. The golden hammer is $960, not $69 anymore. They need an upgrade bathroom to go with their bedroom in the B-1 bomber, because there's 3 pilots in there, or 4 pilots, or whatever it is, and they have to take turns hot pumping. That's a Navy term, hot pumping. That means one guy gets out and the next guy gets in. Hopefully they don't mix it up and they're both in at the same time, unless that's your thing. I don't criticize. I don't mean disrespect. That's your thing. That's your thing. Leave me alone. Don't send me messages that I'm homophobic or racist or all that shit, because I'm none of that. Because obviously I'm old. I don't even have time for myself, let alone that peripheral bullshit that everybody's talking about. It ain't a black and white thing. It ain't a Mexican thing. It's Spanish or Asian, you idiots. You're all people that are taxpayers. You're Americans. Stop fighting among yourself. Vote, vote, vote. Get a dog in the fight. They don't do what you say, vote them out. For Christ's sake, when did we give up the right to vote? When did voting go from one day to a month-long celebration, where half the votes that are voted for before election day get lost or flooded, like in North Carolina and Nashville? Shit, the whole uh, county election bureau washed away. They had to bring a FEMA trailer in with computers and to run the voting. Can you imagine that? And they'd been voting before this disaster, so who knows where those votes are, right? See what I'm saying to you guys? There has to be some genius out there, not as smart as Josh, but somebody who can put a system together where you log in their super secure site with, I mean, Woogie's on the screen. The guy's been in front of it for so long, sneezing on the screen. He's got a helmet on and he's waiting for the short bus. But he comes up with a plan for you to click in, vote, send it off to the cloud in the sky, and you've done your due diligence. Because every American has the right to vote. That's the reason why people come here. Because it used to be because the streets are paved in gold. Now it's because they have a say in the government. Get it?
To illustrate a point on how we could approach voting, it would be the blockchain. For those of you that are following Bitcoin and the technologies that surround it, the idea that there's a general ledger that is shared by all of the jurisdictions that tracks all of the votes that were sent in would greatly reduce the amount of fraud that is in there. And that shared ledger is the thing. So the technology behind blockchain is that it is a distributed service, and so enough of the other ledgers all have to agree that this new entry is true or what have you. So it's not just one place, it's distributed everywhere that's working on it.
See, you fell into my trap. You just walked through the door. You done that the second time this week. I laid a trap, and everybody else figured it out, but you. The trap was, see, I challenged his mind, and he's already got it figured out. So there's a way to do it. You heard it right from the wizard's mouth. Document this. Share it. Comment on it. Subscribe. Document Josh saying that there's a way to do this. Because I know he's going to find a loophole. Because he's really good. However, now that we know how to vote by just pushing a button and putting our secret code in for the number of nasal hairs we have as verification, we have voted. Everybody in the country can vote. And we can't go back to one day, just too cumbersome. But we can go back to like 3 days to vote. Right? That would give everybody a chance to vote. And if something goes wrong, they can call up the IT center and say, try to vote, but I couldn't vote. So can you help me out? They'll figure it out. You approach your voting. And if you vote on the first day and you find out there's a problem, you can get it cleared up by the second day. Second day, you can clear it up by the third day. Third day, now it goes into a file that says this person screwed up their vote. You know, if it matters, let's check it out. But it's a runaway, so we don't really need to. There's only 11 screw ups, so across the whole country, we don't need to worry about it. That's my hope, anyway. See the new vest? Anyway, old shirt has holes in it. That's why I put the vest over it. My wife got all upset with me because I wore it the other day with holes in it. Every shirt I have has holes in it because I smoke cigars and the ash goes down and it burns. I have a few shirts that I wear out to dinner and to, nice things that don't have holes. I never smoke in those shirts because I know I only have a few of them left. And even my pants have some holes. So I've come up with this plan that if I burn a hole in a really good shirt or pair of pants or something, I just buy another one exactly like it. Take the other one, throw it away, and replace it with a new one. Nobody even knows. Been doing that for years. Especially when the grandchildren buy me a sweatshirt that says favorite grandfather on it. If I burn a hole in that, I gotta replace it. There's one that says, I'm killing it as an old man. Josh, how many minutes have I been terrorizing these people?
Let's see, we're looking at 45 minutes. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
I gotta get one of those clocks. Saw it on Amazon. It's just you hit the button and it just ticks
Should
off.
be right at the bottom right hand corner of your screen.
Yeah, we went through this once before. I'm not playing your game again. You can't set me up like that. I got burned one time with that. You can't burn me again. Anyway, got 15 minutes left. So let's finish up with the taxes. So when the government says, "Hi, I'm from the government, I'm here to help," which is the most frightening words to hear in your whole life, because Hochul here in New York said, "We're going to give you $15 million." No, 14 billion. Some, I don't know. For the farmers of New York to keep you on the farm producing. However, what she really meant was they were going to give it to the corporate farmers who put it in the bank account, and their investors took it out, and all the little farmers didn't get squat. That's another story. And we should write that one down, Josh, because that would be a real good one. Show you how uh, the American government is actually making it easier for Chinese people to buy farm property than Americans. There's an expedited the department. I don't know what department. Probably isn't farming. They expedite the sale. It's like Bill Gates has, he's the biggest landowner, Turner, and uh, what's the other guy? Mark Zuckerberg. They all have been buying up land for the last 8 years. Why? Because that's the only thing that is worth anything. Let's face it. The dollar bill is not worth anything. You can have all the bitcoins you want. You can have all the gold you want. But if the shit hits the fan, the only thing that matters is, land. Can you grow on it? Can you get water up it? Can you sell water to the people that are dying of thirst? Or can you grow corn on it and sell it for $1.26 a meter, uncooked, disease infested? May get there. I hope you guys got a stack of food for at least a month or so, because shit's going to hit the fan after the election. And I don't mean whether Trump gets elected or Harris gets elected or Mickey Mouse. There is going to be a group of people in this country that are not going to be happy. And you say, well, that's always election. No, no, no. It's not always election. We have a conversion of really bad things. We have two groups in the country that hate each other. Depends on what broadcast news, what percentage hates this one or hates that one, but it always changes, like coffee. It's good for you, it's bad for you. It's good for you, it's bad for you. Well, every poll you look, somebody's ahead, somebody's behind, somebody's within the margin of error. However, right now, what the government does is they have a crisis to take your mind off something else, right? So everybody's screaming about FEMA and not having enough money, giving only the people, they're giving illegal immigrants $2,000 debit cards and housing and expedited stuff for jobs. They just had a whole bunch of people fired from a chain of, I think it's 90 McDonald's. The guy came in, just loaded it up with all these immigrants, and they have what's called proctors. We just went to one in the Vestal Parkway, and none of them speak English, but there's two or three people behind the counter that are proctors that, translate. They encourage them to do things and how to do things, and they're always there with them. Kind of like what we do when we have mentally deficient people, and we put them to work in the mainstream and put a person with them to guide them through the day until they get the job right, or maybe stay there forever. It's a good program. People that want to work get to work, even if they can't speak the language, even if they don't know how to flip a burger. But by the end of the 2 weeks, they're going to know the job, whether it's in English or Spanish or Lithuanian. Where did Lithuanian come? I don't even know if that's a country. So let's say the Czech Republic, for shits and giggles. Yeah, it's going to take another 6 months to learn the language, and probably another 6 months to really be comfortable with it. But that's all they have is time, right? Because now they got a job, they got money, they got a house over their head. Government's still giving them $2,000 on an EBT card, and they're making a salary, so they're fat and happy, right? Meanwhile, everybody on Social Security is getting paid like nothing, not even minimum wage. So, but that's in the story. The most important thing I'm trying to get to is your tax money is paying for all these bureaucracies and all this stuff. Understand the crisis of FEMA only giving $750 every house owner in Asheville and Chimney Rock and all of Western Carolina, North Carolina, the western part. Oh my God. $2,000 to an immigrant who's here illegally, by the way. Let's not forget that. Where's the equity? I mean, we the people, I think we the people getting screwed. Well, Josh is like, you know, such a stickler. I think I got like 8 minutes left, 7 minutes. Stupid shit. So I gotta say, like, subscribe, comment, share, send money to all my charities because I don't do this to make money. Although I hope to do it to make money because what my money I make, my wife doesn't know about until Josh has a meeting with everybody because we opened up a new LLC here in media. Once he gets on board, I can't hide any more money because he's got to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So help him God. Or the redhead with the green eyes, the Celtic witch will zap him with your lightning bolters. I wonder what that would do to your hair. Wouldn't that be interesting?
I'm hoping that it turns white eventually, and I keep most of it. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, you got that head of hair like mine. You're gonna have head, you're gonna die with a head of hair. And I just turned my hair turned gray after my 12 years ago when I had my dissections, and I was like gray overnight. But until then, I had pretty good dark hair. Because
I
you got to remember, I gotta you gotta remember, I'm a fire hydrant. That's what I look like. You know, my face is nothing like my face. I had a lot of plastic surgery after I went through the side window of that SUV in 1986. A friend of mine, Yuri Tanzer, he was an attorney in Morrisville, New Jersey. One of his clients was a plastic surgeon, so he put my face and neck back together. But I don't understand. He put it back together in a way that it's actually aging. I thought when you got plastic surgery, it was like time. You see what I mean? Doesn't happen that way. So I guess I'm done talking to you because I don't even like you anymore. I hear the chitlins running around downstairs. I don't hear the video game, so I double insulated doors worked, and I had Max put the Scott put the insulation in the ceiling. So I don't hear no more ding 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 ding. Hey, you slob, come over here. I got drugs to sell. Yo ho, come back. Shoot him up, get to the left. Anyway, so I told you about all my charities. There's 4 of them. Some of them are not charities. Some whatever. These people need your support. Whether it's watching the videos, sharing them, sending a donation, whatever. Don't mention my name because you mention my name, then I'm going to let you in the door. I understand that. You just have to understand the technique of being old and retired. You take credit for everything. You
well,
don't give out credit.
let's say hi to our first YouTube chat.
Okay.
Lego
And your first
Studio
YouTube chat
says
is from
hi.
who?
Lego Studio says hi.
Oh yeah, we've been talking online. I like that. Thank you. Uh, hope you come back. I hope you might want to get on air with me because you're a pretty good dude. Anyway, dudettes. So let's see, we got 3 minutes left. So Josh, did I forget anything? Anything you want me to expound on with money? And remember, everything that was said today is not my opinion. It is a repeat of other people's opinions. So therefore, my wife can't hold me accountable for anything I said. Look that up. I can say that and protect myself.
I like the line. You know, you got to keep thinking about how to earn money in retirement.
Well, remember, poker gets expensive. Crown Royal is getting very expensive. Yingling beer, although it's right down the road from me in Pennsylvania, and I can go down there and pick up cases pretty cheaply, but it still costs. Because gas to go down, plus you have to spend 3 or 4 hours at the tasting room. So, and then designated driver. So it isn't like this is a free ride. I have a lot of expenses. And you, because you're just starting your journey to retirement, shouldn't make the mistakes I did. I made a lot of mistakes before I came up with these goodies. So take advantage of this. I'm real happy that I'm getting to meet so many people. This turned out much better than I thought it would. Even if it doesn't fly in 4 months from now, I think I'll probably still do it on a part-time basis just for shits and giggles. That's an old term. I know nobody uses it anymore. But we used to say shits and giggles every time we thought, we did something that was just for fun. I know it's crude. Yeah, just send your comments in the email. Who cares? All right, Josh. Megan says that your hair still looks good. Sarah says, Josh, could you please wear a different colored jacket? She said, you're always in black. You have no colors in your whole, he's giving me the fingers again, folks. Why? All right, I'm done. Tell these nice people goodbye. I'll tell them goodbye and we'll go by.
All right. So let's bring up these socials one more time. Once again, we're looking at St. Jude's, right? stjude.org. Finding cures,
Okay.
saving children. Aortic Hope, connecting hearts one beat at a time. Global PAD Association, thewaytomyheart.org. Rockfromtheheart.org.
And soon you won't have to hear it from us. You'll hear it from a professional voiceover person. And all we need to do is pay her and set it up and do it. Obviously, I'll have to do that because Josh has been dragging his feet. Goodbye. I love you. I hope you're safe. All God's blessings. Remember, please be kind to yourselves. Do an act of kindness.